Hi everybody. My project in Green SEM is Sustainable Agriculture Practices in Central Valley. In this presentation, we are going to see about the introduction on why sustainability is important in agriculture and what are all the important elements of agriculture, and also about the precision agriculture that is followed in Central Valley and the various farming practices that is practiced in Central Valley, and the about irrigation practices and the state and the federal projects that helps the farmers in California to do their agriculture, and at last the conclusion. Agriculture has changed dramatically, especially since the end of World War. Due to the advent of technologies, there is an increase in food and fiber productivity, and also there is increase in production. These changes allow fewer farmers with reduced labor cost. Although these changes have had many positive effects and reduced many risks in farming, there have also been significant costs. Prominent among these are topsoil depletion, groundwater contamination, decline of family farms, and poor working conditions, and increase in the cost of production. Because of the above problems, sustainable agriculture came into practice. And sustainable agriculture integrates three main goals. They are the environmental health, economic profitability, and social and economic equity. Definitely, there will be a question in our mind like, why is sustainability in agriculture and what are all its benefits? The answer is sustainable agriculture can essentially be described as the practice of farming ecologically. The benefits of sustainability in agriculture are they enrich the soil, that is, they increase soil fertility, and they reduce the cost, and they conserve natural resources. Also, sustainability in agriculture lowers the need for chemicals and pesticides. The main resources in agriculture are the water, air, soil, energy. Water is the principal resource that helped agriculture and society to prosper, and it has been major limiting factor when it is mismanaged. Several steps can be taken to manage it. They are improving water conservation and storage measures, providing incentives for selecting of drought tolerant crop species, using reduced volume irrigation systems, and managing crops to reduce water loss. And the next important resources of agriculture is air. Many agriculture activities affect air quality. These include smoke from agriculture burning, dust from tillage, traffic and harvest, pesticide drift from spraying, and nitrous oxide emission from the use of nitrogen fertilizers. There are many options to improve the quality of the air. They are incorporating crop residue into the soil, using appropriate level of tillage, and planting windbreaks. The next important resource to be considered in agriculture is the soil. Soil erosion continues to be a serious threat in agriculture, and there are numerous practices have been developed to keep soil in place, which include reducing or eliminating tillage, managing irrigation to reduce the runoff, and keeping the soil covered with plants. The next is the non-renewable energy which we use in agriculture. Modern agriculture is heavily dependent upon the non-renewable energy sources, especially petroleum. However, sudden cutoff in energy supply is disruptive. In sustainable agriculture, there is a reduced dependence on non-renewable energy, and there is an introduction of renewable energy sources into the agriculture, which will be dealt in the later presentation. Next, the important elements of sustainable agriculture that are practiced in California are the following: protecting water quality and supply. Maintaining water quality and supply is one of the most important elements of sustainable agriculture. Keeping harmful contaminants such as pesticides and nitrates out of water table helps crop grow and ensures continued arability of the land. Carefully managing water consumption is also essential, especially in arid climates where drought is common. The next is protecting biodiversity, making sure that farming does not uh, affect the natural habitat and biodiversity of a region is another important of sustainability. Energy consumption. Many farms and agricultural operations are dependent on non-renewable energy from fossil fuels like coal and petroleum. These resources are finite and cannot be used indefinitely. Using fossil fuels for energy production also causes carbon emissions and contributes to global climatic change, which have serious consequences for agriculture in the near future. Transition to renewable sources of energy such as wind, solar, and biomass is an important step in addressing the problems caused by the non-renewable energy sources. Production practices. Carefully managing the effects of cultivating plants and livestock is very important in sustainability of agriculture. Next, the labor management. By establishing better labor laws and practices, the social and economical impacts of agriculture can be improved and exponential growth need for more and more public services. To discuss about precision agriculture. Precision agriculture or satellite farming or site specific crop management is a farming management concept based on observing, measuring, and responding to inter and intra-field variability in crops. Site specific management is an idea of doing the right thing at the right place at the right time. Precision farming provides a way to automate SSM using information technology, thereby making SSM practical in commercial agriculture. This precision agriculture includes all those agriculture production practices that use information technology either to tailor input used to achieve desired outcomes or to monitor those outcomes. Here, we are going to discuss about various farming practices that are followed in California, that is in Central Valley, in order to attain the sustainability. The first is the crop rotation. Crop rotation is probably the oldest and simplest system used to maintain the health of the soil. According to the experts, one of the crop rotation's biggest advantage is that it prevents the transmission of disease. For example, net balls which infects young seedlings and cause them to turn brown and die affects mainly barley. By planting wheat or rye in your next rotation, you are ending up that disease. And next, famous farming practices is integrated pest management. As the name implies, it is the combination of different techniques to create effective pest control systems. Monitoring and identifying the pest is the first step. And not all the pests needs to be eliminated. Only those pests that causes damage to a crop can only be eliminated. Next is to improve soil fertility. Keeping your farm's soil healthy is essential, as crops get most of their nutrients directly from the soil. Many farmers leave the carbs residue on the ground in order to increase the richness of the soil. Also, by adding organic matter such as manure or cover crops, we can improve the richness of the soil, that is, the soil fertility can be improved. To continue with the farming practices, the next farming practices is the managed grazing. By managing the grazing of animals, you'll make sure that they will go around to the variety of crops and it's make sure that there is a less erosion. And next farming practices are native crops. Here, in California, farmers are used to plant native crops and they very well know that these plants are very well used to the climatic conditions over here and will stand for the longer period without rain. And next is the management of water resources, and limited irrigation is the practical solution for sustainable farming. And we are going to discuss about the irrigation practices which are followed in California in the coming presentation. And there are other forms of energy which are used for farming practices. They are the hydroelectric power plants and the geothermal energy. So, for example, hydroelectric power plants might be an option for a larger farms which are near to the source of running water. Also, these forms of energy are cheap source of energy and also a very clean one, not like that of non-renewable energy sources which causes emission of CO2. Now we are going to discuss about various irrigation practices in Central Valley. As the pyramid indicates, gravity irrigation is decreasing and micro sprinkler irrigation is increasing. The gravity irrigation is decreased about 20%, while the sprinkler irrigation has increased about 8, and micro sprinkler irrigation is increased about 12%. Now, the pressurized irrigation systems, including sprinklers and drip irrigation, afford irrigator greater control over the amount and, in many cases, the uniformity of water distribution to the root zone when compared to gravity methods such as flood and furrow irrigation. Therefore, the pressurized irrigation systems generally provide a greater opportunity than gravity systems for maximizing yields and also for protecting the groundwater supply. However, the capital costs are higher for the pressurized systems than for the gravity methods. Here we are going to discuss about the state funded program. That is, the San John Sustainable Farming Project is a state and federal funded program. It provides innovative programs through which farmers are allowed to work with the top agriculture experts to promote production. The Sound Just Sustainable Farming Project is providing growers in Madeira, Malls, and Fresno counties with valuable strategies to become better stewards in today's challenging economic and regulatory climate. Under 3-year project, farmers are allowed to work with the top agriculture experts to design a customized pest management program that incorporates the use of best management pesticides and less toxic pesticides in their operation. Since it is a state funded program, farmers are motivated by themselves to join these project and get an help from the experts, which will help them to further explore more in the agriculture, which in turn will help to reduce soil erosion and helps to increase environmental factors. Hence, by following sustainability practices, we are implementing Go Green principle by reducing the emission of gases, which is a serious problem nowadays. It also satisfies the human needs. By following the sustainability practices, it makes sure the most efficient use of non-renewable resources. It also makes sure that we are using renewable resources wherever possible. For example, we are using hydroelectric power plants, that is the electricity produced from hydroelectric power plants in the forms which is closer to the source of water. It also conserves soil, that is, it increases soil fertility, reduces soil erosion. Also, it helps for the nutrient reuse, etc. Various sources have been used for the project, and those sources are uploaded in the bundle, and link of that bundle is shared over here. And thank you.